first problem, show that if medium 1 is free space and medium 2 is a dielectric, both tau 1 and tau 2 approach 1 as theta I approaches 0 degree regardless of epsilon r. So solution for this, first we write down the formula for T1 tau 1. So it is equal to minus epsilon r sin theta I plus mod of epsilon r minus cos square theta I divided by epsilon r sin of theta I plus square root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I. So this is the formula. Now we substitute the values of theta I here. So we put theta I is equal to 0 degree. So the equation becomes, it is sin theta I minus epsilon r minus cos square theta I divided by sin theta I plus mod of epsilon r minus cos square theta I. Again we put theta I is equal to 0 degree. So T2 tau is, it is 0 minus epsilon theta 0, it is epsilon r minus 1 divided by 0 plus mod of epsilon r minus 1. So this value is 1. Mod of T tau is 1. Sorry, this is for T tau, and we substitute theta is equal to 0 degree. So T1 equation is epsilon r minus 1 square root of epsilon r minus 1. So this value is 1. Now next problem is calculate the Brewster angle for wave. You can calculate Brewster angle for a wave impinging on ground having permittivity of epsilon r is equal to 4. So what is given here, epsilon r is equal to 4 is given. Now the this angle can be calculated by using formula sin of theta b is equal to r minus 1 square root of epsilon r square minus 1. So it is square root of 4 minus 1 square root of 4 square minus 1. So theta b is equal to sin inverse of it is 3 divided by square root of 3 divided by 16 minus 1 is 15. So it is square root of 1 by 5 and the value is 26.56 degree. So for epsilon r is equal to 4, this angle is 26.56 degree. Next problem, show that the Brewster angle when tau 2 is 0 and it is given by theta I, where sin theta I is equal to square root of epsilon r minus 1 divided by epsilon r square minus 1. So when theta is equal to theta I, tau 2 is equal to 0. So first we write down the equation for this. It is sin of theta I plus square root of omega r minus cos square theta I divided by epsilon r sin theta I plus square root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I. Its value is 0. Therefore minus epsilon r sin theta I plus square root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I equal to 0. So square root of epsilon r minus cos square theta I is equal to epsilon r sin theta I. So squaring both sides, epsilon r minus cos square theta I is equal to epsilon r square sin square theta I. So epsilon r minus 1 minus sin square theta I equal to epsilon square sin square. We know that cos square theta plus sin square theta value is 1. Therefore epsilon r minus 1 is equal to epsilon r square sin square theta I minus sin square theta. Therefore epsilon r minus 1 is equal to epsilon r square minus 1 sin square theta I. So it is equal to epsilon r minus 1 divided by epsilon r square minus 1. Now we take the square root on both sides. So it becomes sin theta I is equal to square root of epsilon r minus 1 epsilon r square minus 1. So it is proved. So next problem. In the following cases, whether two-ray model can be applied, and explain why or why not. First is HT is 35 meter, HR 3, D is 250. So here three values are given, that is HT, HR and D is given. Now when D is greater than 10, HT plus HR, we can see D is greater than HT plus HR, and we can apply two-ray model. So for HT is 35 meter, HR 3 meter and D 250 meter. So D less than 10 into 35 plus 3 is 380 meter. So two-ray model cannot be applied. We can write here, hence two-ray model cannot be applied. Now second one, HT/HR/D values are given as D greater than 10, 35 plus 1.5, 315 meter. So two-ray model can be applied. So what is the advantage of this ray ground reflection model? In the analysis of path loss, the two-ray reflection model consider both direct path and the ground reflected propagation path between the transmitter and receiver. And the disadvantage of this ray ground reflection model is that this model is oversimplified and it does not consider the factors like building and incident profile, etc. So two-ray model is also called as ground reflection model or two-ray ground reflection model. It is the propagation model which is based on geometric optics, and it considers both direct path and ground reflected path between the transmitter and receiver. For predicting the large scale signal strength over a long distance, this propagation model gives accurate result. And the Earth's surface is assumed to be a flat. The distance between the transmitter and receiver is few tens of kilometer. So HT means what? HT means height of transmitter, HR means height of receiver. and if E0 is the free space E field in volt per meter at distance D0 from the transmitter, then for D greater than D0 the E field is given by E0 D0 by D cos of omega c into T minus D by EC. So as the distance increases, that is D is greater than square root of HT/HR, the received power falls off at the rate of 40 dB per decade. It is more rapid than the path loss in free space. For large values of D, the received power and path loss are independent of frequency.